Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this Saturday's Dadurday chase race, where we are coming to you live from London for 5 laps of the London Classique course. It's 33 kilometers this week, 167 meters to climb. So actually a little bit more than what we had last week on the Watopia Two Bridges loop, which is a little bit surprising because it does feel like it is a flatter course. And we've got the Ds, they're out on course already. They've been going now for a couple of minutes. The Cs will be off soon, then I'll be in the B cats, and then we'll have the A's chasing us as well. So there's quite a lot going on today. Zwift recently, as recently as yesterday, announced that they rolled out the new pack dynamics version 3.0. So these are now available for every race, every event on the London map. So we're going to have that in action today. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how that affects riders, how it affects the race pace, whether that's going to make a difference on the time gaps, whether we'll see groups staying away for longer or coming together quicker. We'll see. From what I've read and seen, people are saying it is quite good. And also they're saying that there's a bit more draft as well. So you can sit in that pack a bit easier. You can ease off a little bit more like you can in real life, like you can on other platforms. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Also, just want to give a shout out to some of the Eat Dirt guys, because it's the Eat Dirt anniversary today, and a few of the guys have met up here in real life. So we've got Clay Jackson, Jason Brune, and Jared Hernandez. So they're all there together. That was them preparing last night. So hopefully that's a few glasses of wine or beer that you're drinking there, because you guys are usually pretty strong. So could do with you guys being a little bit off the pace this morning. So I hope you guys have a good race together. So let's go check out then what we've got with the Ds out on course at the moment. There they are. So again, pretty good numbers. And we've still got a couple of minutes until the Cs get going. A good little group here of the Cat Ds. There were 68 starters in that group today. So yeah, some good numbers there. And we'll be predominantly following them in the leaders group until we get maybe the Cs catching or some of the other groups. So there'll be our focus along with the Cat Bs, because I'm riding in Cat Bs. We've still got 3 minutes until I get going with the rest of the Bs, but it is a big field this week. Huge sign-up numbers. So good luck to all the Dirt guys, as always. Good luck especially to the Eat Dirt anniversary guys, because I know they've got a little bit of a team battle. So there's some bragging rights up for grabs today. So they'll be definitely giving it their all so that they can get that badge of honor for the next 12 months. So you've got Matt Yankow, Neil Tucker, Thiago Barrera. Yeah, there's a lot of the Dirt guys in here as always. I know a few, Aaron Upshaw, Mr. Dodd, Ian Wilson. So the Canadian groups are here. They're going to be, as always, hard to beat. So thanks a lot for tuning in as well, everybody. Whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, really do appreciate it. So please just give us a like and a subscribe, as they say. So yeah, do really enjoy having your company on a Saturday morning, or just into the afternoon here in the UK. So the Cat Ds then just coming up the first incline, Northumberland Avenue, and you can see there that's a good view of the pack, how much more stable it is. You can see there's far less movement between the riders. They're not swinging from side to side so much. There's not quite so much jerkiness forward to back, and that is the new pack dynamics in play there. So we'll keep an eye out for that as we go around with the B group, because we'll be always generally on this sort of third person view on the B group, so it will be a bit easier to see. And they're heading off in 90 seconds. A few more Dirt guys there, Ryan Norwood, Macintosh getting involved in the chat as well. So let's see how this is going to play out. The Cat Cs are now out on course as well. They've just been going a minute or so, so it's going to take a little moment for Swift Power to catch up. I will be trying to do some live updates of the time gaps throughout the event. We are going in the anti-clockwise direction today. So that is a little bit more challenging for the heavier riders because we've got a bit more of a kicker, and then the long gentle decline along the start finish line down the Mall towards Buckingham Palace. I always prefer it in the clockwise direction so that we have the fast downhill and the slow drag up to the line. But it is what it is. We'll give it a go, give it our best shot. The B's now getting ready. Let's switch to the 2-up view then. We're 25 seconds out then for this Cat B group. As always, my heart rate monitor has decided to pack in right before the race starts. That was working earlier, so you might have seen it. The heart rate was there on the warm-up. Right, 10 seconds then. And away we go. The bees are out of the pen. They're going to be swarming this morning. But we have some really good numbers signed up. So 123 C riders, 127 B riders, 83 in Cat A. Absolutely massive numbers, always good to see on Dadurday. Wow, so new pack dynamics. You see that I'm currently in 63rd place. Actually, that had settled back down just now. That was a bit jumpy. But it has settled down. There have been issues with that, jumping around quite a lot. Matt Yanko there saying 90 riders in the A pen. As our leaders go through the start finish line for the first time then. So I'm going to have to be careful today. I'm going to try and test out how good this new draft is without getting spat out the back. We're going along at 60 kilometers an hour. But it does look pretty fluid at the moment, this group. The odd bit of movement. It does look fairly stable. Haven't got too many people jumping side to side. A quick check on Zwift power then. Start to do a bit of a refresh. I push through the group, and you can see there that actually my position is jumping around a bit more once I'm further forward in the pack. That could just be because of the huge numbers here. 85th, 82nd, 76th. Did drop back quite quickly there, so that might be what's happening there. So this front D group then, around about 21, 22 riders, but there has been a little bit of a split for these guys. Just in the mini-map, there's a few groups behind. Yeah, it's a small small group there leading out this chase race. We do have a 4.5 kilometre lead at this point though. It's pretty handy. It's so tricky to try and ease up, to want to ease up. See there, people talking about the pack dynamics. I'm still in the high 200 watts here. I'll just ease down a little bit. We're about to come round to the climb. So I got feather power up initially, which I'm just going to launch. Up my wattage a little bit. But there's no point going too crazy just yet. You always need to work as a group, keep these numbers together. Until later on. Right, all groups currently out on course. There's a glitchy sea rider that's currently messing things up. D group and B group currently dead on for their ETA time. I'm not sure I'm about to bring you a time for the C group. This B group currently 7 minutes behind the D group. So they've gained a minute first 4.5 kilometers. So that's going to be tight. We're going to approach the finish of this race. A group is still 2 minutes behind the B group. It's all looking pretty close at the moment. You see the D group on the left. They've made it round to Northumberland Avenue. Sorry, up Whitehall, back towards the top of the Northumberland Avenue climb into Trafalgar Square. Funny that it's daytime in the Cat Ds and it's nighttime in the B Cats. There's no global sun settings on Zwift, it's all locally driven. As the Cat B then start to catch a few sea cat riders. There's Clay Jackson. As I mentioned, in the studio with Jason Brune and Hernandez. See Brandon Peterson's name there, click past. Christopher Schrenker. Always give him a shout out and the great work he's doing with the Communique. See a big group of C's just gone down the other side of the road then. $138 C's we've got here. This is towards the back of that C group, one of these groups that have broken up. Let's just go back to me just because I could feel I'm on the climb. Well, it's not really a climb, it's a drag up to the hairpin. Still 85 riders in this front group. to the B's end. It's good numbers. Difficulty when you're trying to stream and jump around. Lots going on. Let's see if we can get a bit of coverage. Some of our other D riders. Hi there, Stuart. Stuart Featherstone in the A group today. Watching the stream, trying to get some insider knowledge. Hopefully they aren't catching. So that D group has split up a little bit more. A few more riders are split out. Thiago Barrero on the front then of the B category. Remember, it's 5 laps. Only a quarter distance done so far. So I don't know exactly how well the draft is saving me at the minute. I still feel like I'm putting in a good effort. As I said, it's far less jumpy in terms of rider positions. The B group power into a group of C's and through them. There we might see a few more B riders falling off the back. The max of 5% up here, so some good drag. You should be able to hang on. 6% just touched on there for a moment. But the group's pretty spread out across the road. That means the pace isn't too wild. See in the mini map, green, yellow, blue and red dots. Everyone in together. Brandon Peterson there just ahead of me. He's had some good results in Dadurday recently. One to watch out for at the finish. Right. See if I can get an update on the times then. B rider is currently in the hot seat with their ETA according to Zwift Power. Five minutes 45 ahead of the B group. 1:45 ahead of the A group. It's looking like it's going to be a close one then. See if I can go. Back there we can see the top right hand corner. That A group. They're heading towards the turnaround point. Here we are then. Here's that A group. Not that far behind. Making easy work of these little groups. As they round the hairpin. Let's go back. We're on the straight and I'm in some difficulty here. Oh, big effort to get back on. Had to blow an aero. Oh. That's because I was playing cameraman. Got distracted. That'll cost me later on. Just catch my breath a moment. So what was really interesting then is I was 2 seconds off the back and I managed to get back onto this group of 80 riders. Obviously I was pushing harder, but they got all that draft effect and it was downhill. Once again I'm starting to slip off the back a little bit. There we go. Oh. Back into the group then. See if I can get some draft. That's the D group then, cross. Start finish line. They've got 3 laps to go. They're halfway through this race. And they've got a 3-kilometre lead over the Bs. So it looks like there's a couple of B riders hanging on in that group. That's B riders that have been dropped from this front group and swept up. So it looks like we've got a few riders watching the stream, so thanks a lot, guys. You see that Clay Jackson, Jerry Hernandez and Jason Brune, we showed them at the top of the show riding together side by side, checking each other's screens out, looking for an advantage. lots of power ups here. The A's are closing. Just a minute behind. Not far off halfway then. It's going to be tight. Not going to make the same mistake again. Going to stick on the B's and the D's for a minute. So the D's are going to lap. The front D's are going to lap a big group of back marker D's in a minute. That's interesting. I'm not sure that should be happening. Oh, those A's are closer, you can see it on the mini map. They're railing in these B's. Matt Yankov's sweeping on Dadurday. And it's not hard enough. Matt needs that extra push. So it's just come under a minute then, the gap between A's and B's. As the B's approach the midway point. Might be setting a PR this time round. You can see this leaders group is swelling a little bit in numbers as they catch up with riders because of the lap nature of this course. They're picking up dropped riders from the groups ahead. That group is swelling in size. That's going to give them an advantage. See a C rider there in the green, a couple of B's in the fluorescent jerseys. Interesting. 2.4 kilometres ahead for those guys. 8-minute advantage from the start. Slowly being whittled down. I do feel like I am getting a bit of a draft saving down in the low 200s now. Naturally the pace will drop off a bit. Big group of C's just around this corner. We look on the mini map for the B's. I imagine very soon we'll see a big group of red dots on the left hand side of the road. There they are. Give them a wave as they flash by. Stuart Featherstone and his crew are coming. 47 seconds. That's the gap now. You can see it. There's a little gap there opening up between me and the B's. But I'm not falling off. That group of leaders on the left. They're doing a good job at the minute, I would say. Still over 2 km lead. Of course, with power, they might be in trouble. I think it is going to be another close one. 3 minutes 42 from B group to D group. So, claimed half of the time delay back. Just a little bit over, and we're just a little bit over half distance. Once those A's come along though, these groups are going to merge. They're going to swell in size. It's going to be quicker. We push through a big group of C's then. Making sure I don't get caught. Any sticky draft. So we're just rounding onto Whitehall. And the D's are down the mile. They're a long way ahead. We get up and over that little climb. Nice. Really hard to know where the C's are because of the glitch on Zwift power. We've gone through a couple of big groups just then. There's the A's coming onto the strand. The B's are on the strand. I've lost the front of this race. So there's a group of C's on the start of the mall then. 700 metres up the road. That does look to be the front of that group. So the C's have just crossed the start-finish line. So these D's currently holding off the C riders. Ooh. Been some in-game chat there. These are at the top hairpin. Look at that, they are a whole kilometre ahead. I'm in there somewhere. There I am. I've ended up in the first person view, confused myself. Can't believe we're still riding in the night. Obviously makes it a lot more difficult. Can't see where we're going. Tried a new fan setup today. Not really sure it's working. But now I'm starting to overheat. It's like the cold weather here in the UK. It's a chilly, fresh day. I did see a few guys have got snow in their locations. $800 then from B's to D's. It's come down a little bit, but look at that, the A's literally in sight of us then. So, but there they are, look, just behind us. Absolutely bearing down. I think they've got their trainer difficulty, their trainer accuracy within the 2% margin. Not quite as many in that group as I expected, considering there were 90 starters. B group is definitely bigger then. These can't let up here. These are going to try and catch on with the A's. They make the catch with 75% of the race done. Just realised I didn't use my power up on that last lap, so I'm still stuck with a van power up. The pace is going to go up another level now. Oh, bit of a random swerve there. First time I've really seen that. Stuart Featherstone just ahead of me. It looks like the C's have caught that front group of D then. I'd like to get dropped off of that AB group. So we're not far off catching that leaders group then. That's going to be a 1 lap final shootout. That catch is moments away. We're right in the mix. There we go, come out of it. Big group of A's and B's. Let's just double check up the road. Possibly there is a smaller group of B's up the road. Quite hard to tell. We're going from one group to the other. Here's me on my own at the minute. I'll jump into this group. There we are. Screen management there. Oh, I lost 15 places in that little overtake by that group then. There's a massive merging of groups in that leaders group then. No idea where the front of this is, to be honest. That looks to be roughly the front end. £3.5K for our leaders. Huge field. 50 of the A riders in that group then. 45 or so B riders. Possibly the odd C hanging on in there. A bit of a push on the front end. Grant and Saunders up the front, pushing that pace. Here we are then. This is the front of that race. Wiper Saunders, Matt Brandt just there as well. Into the final 3 kilometres. Those guys have just caught on the climb then. See there, all the A's on the front. Dropping the B's on that climb. They're swarming to the front. Although Chris Renker's up there. Brandon Peterson. Strong B riders. Remember, check out Chris Renker's communique Facebook page and website. Some really good articles on there. He's in the hunt. They're not far off the Flamme Rouge. Yeah, he's stretching it out then. They're all coming to the front, those A riders. Get them in focus. Here they are then, on the approach to the finish line. You can see it up ahead. The numbers are going orange. It's a massive sprint. These 3 riders on the front then. Sankor, Take, Gallagher. Oh, one of those 3. We'll bring you the results in a moment then. Oh, I say one of those 3, they were a lap down. Oh, they just got caught right on the line and confused everything. So, once I finish in a moment, I'll bring you the results. That was confusing. Oh. 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 Ah, decent sprint. Right. See if we can get you some results. Ah. Looks like En Basson with the win. Seaman in second. Jason Brune in 4th place. Taking the honours for Eat Dirt. We go to the Bs. The B podium, then Neil Tucker, Chris Schrenker and Brandon Peterson. I called them out. And those guys finished just a little bit ahead of the rest of the Bs then. Well done to those guys. Official results will be on Zwift Power as always. It has been a bit slow updating today. Oh, so do we have any C riders coming in that final group then? Not sure. All right, so here are all the results, all in together. Let's see. No, it doesn't show them all in order. That's all the A's. But it might show some of the B's in there. So I was bang on 100th place apparently. But of course, this does not take into account the time delays at the beginning. Oh, wow. As always, a challenging Dadurday. Once the A's caught us, that was me, done for. So yeah, that was, you can see, not sure my new fan setup was working that well. I'm pretty sweaty. That was a 42-minute effort. A bit shorter than some of the recent Dadurdays that have been up around 50 minutes. But well done to the A's for taking the win this week. A good mix of B's hanging on in there. C's and the D's did hang on for quite a while. The catch being made on that final lap then. So it was pretty close in the end. As always, challenging to get those time gaps just right. Well done to the dirt guys. There they are. I'm sure they'll be celebrating with a beer this afternoon. Still quite early there, but it's 5 o'clock somewhere, right lads? So cheers, have a good one. And as always, hopefully we'll be bringing you lots of race streams on V-Cycling News over the week. Probably picking up the PRT handicap race again this week. And hopefully Dadurday next Saturday as well. So thanks for tuning in, everyone. I really appreciate you watching. Andy folks, I know that you also did just comment there about watching Zwift racing. It is challenging trying to find the front of the race. The camera controls are not quite as intuitive as other platforms. There's not a button just to take you to that race leader, which would be handy. You can only scroll up a couple of riders at a time, so it is a bit jumpy, unfortunately. Makes it difficult at the front of the race. And I think they've changed the camera settings a little bit as well. You used to be able to pan and orbit around the rider, which made it easier to set up an angle. That seems to have been taken away, unfortunately. I will play around with that some more. Right, okay, thanks a lot, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day, wherever you are in the world. Thanks a lot for tuning in. We'll catch you all again soon on V-Cycling News live race coverage. Have a good one.